is usually launched to ascertain the true position of the complaints.
They also highlighted the role of non-state actors in conflict management.
One of the most overlooked aspects of countering violent extremism and terrorism is terror funding. No one is clamping down on them. You cut off the money, these guys are going to be very unhappy.
All you need to worry about is, are you following Nigerian law? Are you following humane standards? Are you following rule of law and rules of engagement? And if you are, then you don't really have to explain yourself to anyone.
Now, I'm appealing to our political leadership again. Let us enjoy what we are, who we are. Those of us in the security industry, we know our value. Whether you be military, whether you be a policeman.
They implored Nigerians to always be on the defensive and stick by the policies if in line with the rule of law. The Buhari Media Support Group says that the Buhari administration has successfully plugged all leakages in the economy and that the country is at threshold of an economic policy that will benefit citizens irrespective of social or political class. In a statement, the group's secretary Cassidy Madwike stressed that while the present administration inherited a country at the verge of collapse, the All Progressives Congress administration has been able to steer the nation away from a fatal fall to a condition of sure footing. The group described the statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Prince Dayo Adeyeye, which claims that the PDP handed over a healthy country as a ridiculous sham. The Buhari Media Group notes that, but for the military campaign launched by President Buhari's administration, Nigeria under the past administration had lurched towards a failed state, competing side by side with terrorists for territorial claims. We now join Ademola in our Lagos Network Center as he brings us reports on World Earth Day and other details from the axis. Hello, Ademola.
Hello, Olajide. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to Lagos. During public holidays, motor parks are usually besieged with activities as families travel to spend time with their loved ones. However, as people return to their duty posts in different states after the Easter break, low passengers turnout was recorded in Lagos. Abolade Salami has this situation report.
As against the usual last-minute rush of passengers to motor parks to return to their place of primary assignments after public holidays, this year's Easter public holidays recorded low turnouts of passengers at most motor parks. At Ido Motor Park, most vehicles were seen parked due to low turnout of passengers, while the few ones loading had few passengers.
Very, very low. You can see it's only one bus we are loading. As at last 2-3 years, by this time, about 4 or 5 buses that have left, but now just one, and it's yet to fill up.
Well, I think for now, everything is, the park is scanty, as you can see. We don't make enough profit, and you know the situation of the country, there's no money anywhere. Well, I think some years back, it's a bit better than now, because people can easily bring out money to spend, but now there's no money anywhere.
There's an increase compared to what it used to be.
How much are you taking
Before you can come to Lagos from Kano, maybe there about 5,000, 5,500. But now we have to pay a whole lot of 7,500. Some are even charging 8 something.
The situation at Automoto Park in Ido was not different, as few passengers were seen in their clusters discussing while others had a nap. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
As the world prepares to mark International Mother Earth's Day on April 22nd, environmentalists say there is the need to intensify education on environmental and climate change issues. Jennifer Igwe spoke to an environmentalist on how this can be achieved.
International Mother Earth Day has become one of the most widely celebrated events worldwide. It is aimed at creating awareness on environmental issues and to help the global community appreciate the Earth's natural environment. Environmental experts say there is need to mobilize activities to mark the day.
Come up with leaflets, posters, booklets that they can actually take around.
The loss of biodiversity on Earth, experts say, can be attributed to behavior of human beings detrimental to the environment. The theme for Earth Day is geared towards improving environmental and climate change literacy. This environmentalist, Adeshola Alamotu, says, captures the many challenges bedeviling the world today and the need to tackle them through strategic education and initiatives.
If the government, I don't want to name any in particular in the north, could just take it on up and say, okay, let the citizenry start planting trees, something as basic as that. You don't start with anything so highfalutin. Start with something basic, ensure that each household make it a policy.
Greening the environment, planting trees, coming together as an organization, neighborhood or community to organize programs aimed at creating awareness on the need to preserve and save Mother Earth and its vast biodiversity are some of the ways people can key into the International Mother Earth Day celebrations. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
Well, that does it for now from Lagos Network Center. Is back to you, Olajide, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Ademola. Moving on now. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria have stressed the need for implementation of national drug policy in the country to ensure that only quality drugs are manufactured for public consumption. The guests said these while discussing quality of locally manufactured drugs in Nigeria. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Findings reveal that a couple of years ago, 3 Nigerian hospitals reported cases of adverse reactions from the use of contaminated infusions produced by 4 Nigerian companies. This is one of the instances of the adverse effects of fake and substandard drugs manufactured in the country, as it is estimated that 10 to 30% of medicines sold in developing countries, including Nigeria, are counterfeit. Consequently, the federal government inaugurated a committee on expedited medicines access program as a way to ensure quality of drugs manufactured in Nigeria. Dr. Kawu Ahijo Abdulkadri of the Spine Center in Gwagwalada says he has lost confidence in Nigeria's locally manufactured drugs.
After surgery, when you paralyze your patient, you want to reverse the patient. After surgery, we've had a lot of experience where drugs we use, we couldn't reverse. So I practically decided that I'm not going to use locally made drug again. I mean, on my own part. And I've not had any problems since I've started using that drug.
National Chairman Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, Dr. Albert Alkali and Ima Agba of Divine Essentials Formulations, however, differ with the position of Dr. Kawu.
We have good local manufacturers that are producing good quality pharmaceuticals in this country. I think our major problems are mostly the imported products, and then lack of the enabling regulatory framework to ensure that people keep the standard within the country.
When we talk about products that are manufactured locally, I think I will give Nigerian pharmaceutical manufacturer 80%, not even 70%. We have a regulatory framework that is very stiff.
NAFDAC's Director of Pharmacovigilance, Ibrahim Ali, maintains that the agency has never relented in its regulation mandate. He explains that Nigeria is among 10 African countries recently certified by the World Health Organization to be doing very well in the area of locally manufactured drugs.
Genuine Nigerian manufacturers manufacture quality medicines. And I can say this one confidently from the surveys we've done so far. The quality of medicines, especially zinc sulfate dispersible tablets taken from Nigeria, meet all standard requirements and it passed satisfactorily.
The guests were, however, unanimous in their call for an intervention funds to the entire pharmaceutical value chain. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
While the Easter holidays lasted, there were those who enjoyed it because they had electricity supply all through, as others grapple with epileptic or lack of public power. There is, however, a community in the FCT which is oblivious of this challenge. You're asking how they are on solar energy, and for them, it's electricity 24/7. Lydia Sampson visited Wuna village, where the potential of the sun has been turned into a viable asset.
The roofs of houses in Wuna community look different these days. Most are adorned by a new gadget. They are solar panels. For decades, electricity was a luxury to them. The people supply from the national power grid, but it was virtually non-existent in Wuna community. On the other hand, the sun always shone brightly here. The people, however, had no way of knowing that it could solve their power problems. Now they know their energy needs are being met by solar power. The village head, Yusuf Isa, recalls how it used to be and what it is now.
Before we charge our phone, we used to watch Mr. B, his one is run down. Mr. C, his one is run down. We gather it, carry it to Gogolada, but it's no more again.
Mariam Solomon is one of the women in the community whose homes are now powered by solar energy. Mariamu and her husband, Solomon Zaka, welcomed us into their home.
And then our children that don't feel read book, our woman they are going to cook the food for me.
For their daughter, who is a tailor, the presence of electricity will make a whole world of difference to our business.
Before I know they work in the night. But
why now?
Because in the night, I know they see it. But now, we get solar. Now they use now, in the night, at the work.
At the local primary school, it is a new experience for the pupils too. 12-year-old Dorothy Emmanuel is one of the excited pupils who have a new world open to them.
When the president came to commemorate the solar, the fan is starting working and then the class is very cool.
It is not just about the improvement in the learning environment. The introduction of the children to solar technology opens up new frontiers in the scope of learning. One of the youths in the village has been trained to maintain the solar panels so that the community can manage the system on their own. The Solar Home System project was introduced to Wuna under a federal government program. Each household is expected to pay the sum of 1,900 naira per month over a 3-year period to defray the costs. Even before this comes to pass, the people of Wuna, having seen the light, are asking for more, like the proverbial olive tree.
We are begging government to help us. I'll bring the one that we can watch this television using this in the funk. That's why we are begging government to bring that up, that the one that is in our primary school.
Solar energy is gaining more popularity in Nigeria as communities like Wuna get to know that the sun can provide light both in the day and at night. The abundance of sunshine, increasing simplicity of solar technology, lowering costs of components, and the relatively lower maintenance costs makes solar system more attractive. Mariamu and the Wuna community are bearing testimonies to this. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
NSCDC impound stolen old trucks and arrest 19 people. Let's join Mina in our Port Harcourt studio for these and more stories. Good afternoon, Mina.
Good afternoon, Olajide. You're welcome to Port Harcourt. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, in Rivers State, says it has impounded petroleum products worth over 250 million naira in its latest operations in Rivers State. State Commandant of the Corps, Mohammed Haruna, disclosed this while parading 19 suspects arrested in connection with the products recovered. Kingsley Amaziri reports.
In the last 2 weeks, the command says it arrested 19 suspects, impounded 5 trucks of 33,000 liters loaded with crude oil and automated gasoline oil AGO, a badge, and a Toyota Camry car used in the operations by the suspects. These efforts, the commandant says, is in response to the fight against oil theft and vandalism of national assets.
Within the week, we've been able to arrest 5 trucks, a badge, and a vehicle, all of them. One of the trucks is loaded with crude oil. The others are loaded with adulterated AGO.
NTA News gathered that between April 5th and 12th, men of the NSCDC rounded up the suspects from Kana, Abajo, Borikiri, and Emoha, all in Rivers State. The Commandant, Mohammed Haruna, disclosed that the products and vehicles impounded will be forfeited to the federal government if the suspects are convicted in the court. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Senate Committee on Industry has paid an oversight visit to one of the Industrial Development Centers, IDC, under the Small Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, in Port Harcourt. The chairman of the committee, Senator Sam Egu, said the committee will take all necessary steps to revive the center, which has been lying dormant for years now. Vivian Ezadife reports.
The Senate committee members who came in company of Director General of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, while inspecting the facilities, the Senate committee chairman, Sam Egu, decried the high level of abandonment, saying that it is unfortunate that the vision of our elder statesmen have been truncated.
We have made our observations, and I'm sure that as a committee, we're going to make our report and make sure that appropriate steps is taken to revive these industrial centers, development centers, because they are veritable centers for our development.
The Director General of SMEDAN, Diko Umar, said the 3-in-1 workshop was installed since 1984 and was never commissioned. The Director General, who explained some of the challenges and problems facing the industrial development centers in Nigeria, noted that out of the 23 centers, only 7 are partially functioning, and Port Harcourt Center is one of the best.
It's a very good place where there should be industrialization of any nation, and this is a very good. It's a very good situation that we have the senators with us in this IDC to see themselves the problems that are militating against the proper work of the IDC.
He said the IDCs was handed over to by Industry, Trade and Investment in Port Harcourt. Vivian Ezadife, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Port Harcourt. Today it's back to you for a continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Mina. And you can watch these news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS, or log on to nta.ng. This is Nationwide on the NTA. Let's pause for some messages. More reports shortly. Stay with us.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
Hi there, my name is Fumi Wakama of the NTA. I'd like to introduce to you my friend and colleague, hardworking, creative and vibrant reporter,
Ruben Okala, NTA News.
Ruben Okala, the saint as we all call him. All this while we thought Saint Ruben is just a crack reporter, but he's also a great musician. I'd like to invite you to the public presentation of his album titled Breaking News, coming up on Saturday, the 29th of April, 2017, at the Arts and Culture Center, opposite UTC, Area 10, Abuja, at 4 o'clock in the evening. Red carpet starts at 3 p.m. I will be there. I hope to see you there.
Kidney and liver issues are on the rise. Why?
This is monstrous. It's even monstrous.
Charlatans peddle drugs on the streets as if it is pure water. Why?
I was not new.
Enterprise is for money, not assured and quality service. Why?
My dear sweet professor, am I trying to you so?
Oh, yes. Episode 10, Season 3 of your rib-cracking comedy. Professor John Boone takes a swipe at the scourge of substandard goods in our society.
Fake suppliers of products must be brought to justice before they create a calamitous atrocity in our community.
Keep a date with us and laugh like never before.
Electric bomb!
Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
You're always a step higher with hype, non-stop entertainment. Watch telenovelas that will keep you glued to your seat on Star Times Novella E1. It's action time for mind-blowing moves that you can only see on Star Times Kung Fu. With E! Entertainment, keep up with Hollywood celebrities' hot gossip. Question no more. IDX got y'all as they reveal the untold. Any day is fun day after school for your kids on Pop. Enjoy your favorite Indian shows in 8 different languages on Star Times Bollywood. Your health, your life. Keep it locked on Star Times Sports Life for tips. Pay 1 month basic bouquet and get 7 days of classic bouquet for free. Subscribe now. Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Being a mother is a lot of work. Being a caring mother is a daily task. To have a healthy mother and child, you need all the help you can get. Whatever your health concern is, a mother or child, join us on Mother Care on this station at this time. Because we always say, being a mom, it's the best job in the world.
Many thanks for being there, and if you're just joining us, this is NTA Nationwide reaching you from the network service. Governor El Rufai interacts with stakeholders on land issue as Kaduna State prepares for cashless policy of the CBN. This and more as we join Abdullahi in that center. Hello, Abdullahi. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Olajide, and thanks for joining us in Kaduna. For close to 6 weeks now, Kaduna International Airport has operated both international and domestic flights following the closure of Abuja Airport for repairs. Eugenia Ukweze reports that the tempo of activities is still sustained in spite of the reopening of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
Kaduna International Airport commenced flight operations on 8 March 2017, and from then till yesterday has had passengers movement of 189,734, both arrival and departure on international and domestic flights. Aircraft movement totaled 3,274, both departure and arrival. Airport manager describes the whole operation as successful.
Kaduna Airport will not go back. Even though we are closing, some people have come, they have seen what we are capable of doing. Some of them will not be staying back immediately, like Ethiopia. Ethiopia assured me that they'll be coming back within the next 1 month or 2 months.
Passengers commended the aviation industry while calling for continuity.
It's a blessing in disguise for Kaduna residents. My only challenge is how do we keep the traffic? Because lots of money have been invested. And if money have been invested, I expect that there should be dividends from every investment.
It's a wake-up call for government. You don't allow yourself to be compromised as it is, by having very few options at any given time.
The federal government shut Abuja Airport to carry out major repairs on its runway. In Kaduna, Eugenia Ukweze, NTA News.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, in collaboration with some key stakeholders, have succeeded in intercepting a haulage vehicle abandoned by suspected pipeline vandals at KK Village along Kaduna-Kano Expressway. Abubakar Idris reports.
The nefarious acts of five-line vandals has for long been a source of concern for authorities in Nigeria and other stakeholders in the oil and gas sector. Such activities have also in recent past been a major factor militating against steady supply of petroleum products, power supply, among other socio-economic activities. The interception of the vehicle by the Joint Task Force of the security agents was made possible as a result of security information disclosed to them by a good Samaritan.
So that is why you can see, because of the pressure on them, that side, they wanted to gradually move to this area, and we are telling them, no way. They should better go back, or they should desist. They should be out of that business.
Yusuf Ibrahim is a stakeholder in the operation.
Our men on the 9th at around 0200 hours called my attention that they saw some vandals on the line. They came with a red Golf. After a while, they started shooting to scare people away. They left, called the OC anti-vandals. So, and lucky enough, he responded swiftly.
They, however, called on the general public to continue to report suspicious movements, especially along petroleum pipelines, and prevent destruction of national assets.
The government has assured that people whose lands are taken over by one government project or the other will be adequately compensated and relocated to areas more convenient for settlement. Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, who gave the assurance while interacting with some aggrieved residents of the areas affected, called on people to desist from buying government lands from illegal estate agents. Muhammad Umar Ajingi has details.
We purchased some piece of land at Danhonu 2. And we were told that that place does not belong to government.
Buy the land, I will sell the land. That is my business. So we buy the bush since that time. We don't know much. They said that this bridge came that place.
Those were some of the controversial issues elaborately discussed to address the challenges ravaging most developing communities at Millennium City, Danhono 1 and 2, Hainkeke, Plani, among others. Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai, who took his time explaining to the residents, said there is no need to panic, as government has no plans to relocate people without adequate compensation.
We are also conscious of the fact that commitments have been made by previous governments that should be upheld. Those commitments that are not unlawful, that are fair and make a lot of sense, will be upheld. We have to develop Kaduna in an orderly manner.
He, however, advised residents of Kaduna to desist from buying government lands from private individuals, as right channels to acquire any property in Kaduna must follow the correct procedures accepted by law to enable buyers acquire all the relevant documents. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Financial inclusion matters now. Nigeria's Apex Bank, the central bank, is set to introduce its cashless policy to other parts of the country where the policy is yet to take effect. In this report, our correspondent examines the existing payment system in Kaduna and the public perception of the policy.
Information and communications technology has revolutionized the way payments are made in today's world of business. Though the cashless policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria is yet to be introduced in Kaduna, bank customers are already enjoying its benefits.
I use my ATM sometimes online. I use in stores, POS in the stores. Then I make transfer with it as well.
What is disturbing to many is how to change the attitude of the majority of traders and other service providers who insist on cash payments.
It is very, very risky for me to use that POS, so I'm not interested on it. What I did is I prefer to whatever you buy in my shop, you should pay me in cash. I think it's much more better because we are very dishonest in this country.
Branch Controller, Central Bank of Nigeria, Kaduna, says all is set for the commencement of the policy come May this year.
Yes, so cashless policy is actually to help the economy grow and to improve the payment system.
The success of the cashless initiative in Kaduna, analysts say, lies in a formidable enlightenment campaign that will change the perception of those that are expected to play a significant role.
And that report ends nationwide. From here, it's back to Olajide Bello for the continuation of the news in Abuja. Olajide, over to you.
Thank you very much, Abdullah, there from our Kaduna Network Center. About the commercial nerve center of Abia State has continued to live up to its name as the struggle to eke out a living is at the heart of activities in the city. Correspondent Cliff Ayoze visited the city and now reports.
Aba, also known as the Enyimba City, is the commercial nerve center of Abia State, renowned for buying and selling. But beside that, Aba's innovativeness, ingenuity, and creativity has stood it out in the area of shoemaking and other creative arts of fabrication, furniture making, tailoring, and what have you.
Struggle for survival is at the heart of activities of the Abamen Motor Park and its environs. Hustling is the most appropriate word to describe the nature of activities that dominate Asa, Melverton, and Park Rose Junction. Here, every space is a strategic position for buying and selling. Persuasiveness is a major tool of survival for the street traders who are in their numbers. Marketing drive and innovativeness are critical to making the day's business a rewarding one.
White people, they depend on themselves. They go around the cities. When they come back, they have to implement what they saw outside and inside the country.
Government These products are made in Aba. More people admire it and patronize it. Government should assist us because those designers are now better than those made overseas.
Even at the expense of the free flow of traffic. They are all chasing their own end of the business chain, transporting the high volume of goods sourced from Aba. To Aba residents, the bubble and bustle express the uniqueness of the city.
The taking point, starting point, to anywhere you want to go to Aba, and whatever you are looking for here, as far as this place is concerned, you get a lot of things. Whatever you are looking for, you get it here.
Almost every senator dress that you see today, the shirts and I made in Aba. So they do different designs. That is an interesting development so that we will have our own identity.
Sometimes alluring to themselves. The indomitable spirit of the Enyimba city may, however, be triumphing over them with increased presence of joint security and military personnel. From Aba in Abia State, Cliff Ayoze, NTA News.
Deputy Inspector General of Police visits Edo Police Command for enhanced security. Details with Obey in Benin.
Hello and welcome to Benin. The Deputy Inspector General of Police South-South, Mr. Emmanuel Iyang, has assured officers of the police force of the commitment to provide for their welfare in order to make them put in their best. Frank Okonofwa has details.
Emmanuel Iyang, upon his arrival at the police headquarters, inspected the guard of honor mounted by a detachment of men of the command. Mr. Iyang said the police under the present administration is ready to take the welfare of the police seriously. He charged officers to make sure that the rule of law becomes their watchword and should shun corruption.
The Justice Command has performed very well. So that we maintain this tempo or even the group of police. So the important essence of my law is to re-strategize the people to ensure that this tempo is maintained and we can even improve upon the standard to make sure that the people of the Edo State and South General sleep well in their eyes closed.
While welcoming the DIG to the state headquarters, the Commissioner of Police, Edo State, Mr. Halilu Gwandu, said the command has arrested a total of 601 suspects involved in kidnapping, armed robbery, courtesan, murder, and rape. He appealed for more support from the Inspector General of Police.
The command is in their need of technological equipment like tracking device to counter the activities of kidnappers, armed robbers, and other cyber-related crimes, particularly very suppository of patrol vehicles to police the entire state.
Some members of the Police Community Relations Committee call on the DIG to show more support in the area of infrastructure to the State Command. This is the first official visit of the Deputy Inspector General of Police to the State Command. In Benin, Frank Okonofwa, NTA News.
The 40th day Fidal prayer, organized in honor of the late Dr. Samuel Udia, as held in his country home in Edo State. It drew Muslim clergy from across Benin City. Lawrence Okuji has the details.
The 40 days Fidal prayer held at the late Dr. Samuel Ogbemudia home is due to a cordial relationship which existed between the deceased and the Muslim community. The clergy seized the opportunity to call on everyone to live an exemplary life just as departed.
So as we have made this prayer now, God in his infinite mercy will use it to protect his soul.
Family members said the prayer was organized to underscore the late Dr. Samuel Ogbemudia's love for Muslim community.
That God will rest his soul.
My father appreciates every religion, the chief imam and the Muslim community. They are more family.
Prayers were offered for the late Dr. Samuel Ogbemudia and his family. In Benin, Lawrence Okuji, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Olajide, it's over to you now for the rest of Nationwide News.
Thank you very much, Obaye. And Zimbabwe celebrates 37 years of independence and over 8,000 migrants rescued in the Mediterranean Sea at the weekend. These and more on Global Tidbits with Chimdima Ndubisi.
At Zimbabwe's 37th independence anniversary, the President Robert Mugabe promised that his administration will continue to pursue socio-economic programs that will consolidate on the country's developmental gains since independence. He therefore called on the citizens to defend their independence. In Turkey, the main opposition has made a move to annul the referendum handing President Tayyip Erdogan sweeping powers. The country's Bar Association, alongside an international monitor, alleged that the Electoral Authority's allowance of unstamped ballots in the referendum may have swung the vote. However, President Erdogan said Sunday's vote ended debates on the sought-after powerful presidency, shunning criticisms from European Union observers. In another development, the United States President Mike Pence, who flew into Tokyo from South Korea, has reassured the leaders that the U.S. stands with them in curtailing North Korea's nuclear and missile ambitions. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
The 25th edition of the Nigerian University Games kick off at the University of Agriculture, Makadi, on Wednesday as Dolphin Junior Champions ends in Port Harcourt. Here is Kene Emma Abaduike for more on Sports Update.